Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the guardian of chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Coming to you live to tape on a Monday morning here at the Chaos Lounge from Chaos Headquarters to give you Chaos Corner, a one-man show, unique, unedited, unscripted, no Patreon, no paywalls, no super chats, none of the above. What you see is what you get. No editing. This is reality TV. Follow me on all social media platforms, and you know what they are. At Big Daddy G.O.C on Twitter. And the G.O.C stands for the Guardian of Chaos. If you hit that profile link, that'll bring you to here, the mothership, Guardian of Chaos on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at The Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's two accounts, J Brony and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Also on Gitter, Gab, Rumble, Parler, Truth Social. I cover it all in the IWC here on Chaos Corner with it's me. It's the G.O.C. There's over 1,000 videos uploaded on the station. Everything from retro reviews to covering AEW, WWE, MLW, the NWA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact. It doesn't matter. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, of course, my home, and all the independents. That's what you get here on Chaos Corner. My over 50 years as a scout, a historian, a mark, that's right, I'll say it. And my over 3 years, make that 30 years as a professional wrestling manager. Now, you know I just fucked up right there, right? But you know what Bully Ray said to me at least, I don't know, over 15 years ago? He said to me on at least 2 occasions while we were going for the NWA World Tag Team titles, I was managing Oman Tortuga and Diablo Santiago, the Outcast Killers, against Team 3D, Bully Ray, Bubba, if you will, and Devon. He said to me back in the dressing room, give the Guardian of Chaos 5 spots, he'll fuck up 4 of them. I consider that to be a compliment coming from a co-host on the #1 show on radio, Busted Open. So what we're going to do here on this episode and moving forward probably for the next bunch of episodes is we're going to cover back to the golden era, back to the 1980s, the variety show called Tuesday Night Titans from the old World Wrestling Federation. That's right, the WWF. Right up the road on 95 at Titan Towers. We're going to sit here and we're going to cover the variety show here on Chaos Corner. The variety show. Yeah, big shout out and tribute to Johnny Cash here on Chaos Corner. And of course, you see we don't care about the studio, the cameras. I know it puts 10 pounds on you, but it looks like it put 25 on me. But we're having a lot of fun. We're giving you the entertainment. This is what I do, pushing out the product to you, the fans, because without you, I wouldn't be here. And let's all take a moment and give props and a shout out and recognize our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, there is none of us, and he's coming back really soon. Don't be caught dead without him. You know what I always say, right? And I just said it, and I'll say it again. Jesus Christ is coming back soon. Don't be caught dead without him. Thanks from Paul from Off the Grid Desert. Right now, the variety show is with Vince McMahon and the legend Terry Funk, who I had the unfortunate opportunity to be across the ring from as a manager. It wasn't a pretty sight out at Hammond, Indiana Civic Center, but that's another story for another time. That's right. I was in the ring with Terry Funk. Right now, Funk and Vince McMahon are in a saloon, having a couple of beers and spitting in the platoon. All the boys are in the background playing the cards. A couple of fine-looking fillies that are waitresses. The old bartender. Look at all the bottles of J.D., Johnny Walker. Vince even has a beer, and from Vince wearing a cowboy hat as his Funk. So that's what we're going to do here in this episode. They're usually 30, 35 minutes, maybe an hour shows if you go back on YouTube and different channels. Funk is right in the camera, and he just spat tobacco in the camera. Now they're back to the studio with McMahon behind the desk, Lord Alfred Hayes as a sidekick with the skyline in the background, kind of like a studio setup of like David Letterman, Johnny Carson back in the day, with Vince being Johnny or David, and Lord Alfred Hayes being Ed McMahon. We're back at the saloon, and now sitting around the table is tough Tony Gurria from right here in the Constitution State, from New Zealand, if you will, Lord Alfred Hayes, Vince McMahon and Terry Funk with the cowboy boots, the hat, the blue jeans, and a waitress with the breasts is hanging out, a little cleavage, wearing all red. She looks like she's flirting with Tony Garea. Garea always had nice hair. I just saw him on a signature, ink signature maybe, or maybe with the 80s WrestleCon with someone doing some sort of signing. And he still looks the same. He's got to be in his 70s. Garea, what a nice head of hair. And in this vignette, they're sitting around the table. Funk is getting pissed because the waitress, again, she got the breasts hanging out, is hitting on Tony Garea, and they're chatting off to the side. And meanwhile, McMahon's trying to talk to Funk. Funk is eyeballing, eye-fucking, if you will, Tony Garea. Lord Alfred Hayes looking at Funk. He knows something's about to happen. Let's check in on a vignette here. Tuesday Night Titans here on a Monday morning with the Guardian of Chaos. Now Vince is trying to talk to Funk. Lord Alfred's sipping on some suds too. I don't know if that's a Coors Light or maybe a Budweiser. And Funk just chugs his beer, pouring all over the side of his face. Now, Garea's up at the bar now, Tony Garea, and he's talking to the nice-looking redhead in the red dress. Funk is coming up behind while McMahon and Lord Alfred Hayes are looking for him. There, Funk's got a beer bottle, and he smashes it over Garea's head. There, Garea's down for the count. Cards everywhere. It's a barroom brawl. It's a Pier 6 brawl. It's a slobber knocker. Here on Tuesday Night Titans on Chaos Quarter on Monday morning with the G.O.C. Funk is hitting Tony Garea with another beer bottle. Beer everywhere. Throws him into the bar. Table, smash, cheers. It's Pier 6. Reminds me of my days back bouncing in the bars. Funk is going to hit him with the stool. Tony Garea is reeling, face first into the table. All the boys are yelling and screaming for Funk. I mean, this is a Pier 6 brawl inside the bar.
It gets a little wild around here.
And now they're back in the TV studio, live TV studio back then. I believe this episode is from January 1985. We're going to take a little break. We're not going to go anywhere. Lord Alfred Hayes, Vince back in the studio. A little more Tuesday Night Titans with Chaos. Yeah, okay, I get it. I know. I'm already on my second Red Bull. Listen, it's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What do you want from me?
Encourage you to for the Wrestling Music Awards, and for the benefit of those you would like to vote for
the Slammies, back when the Slammies were the Slammies, the Wrestling Music Awards, and they even put up an address back in the day. Mail your nominations for the Slammies, the Wrestling Music Awards, the P.O. Box 1538, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. That's the address they got there for the WWF in Stamford, Greenwich at the headquarters. What do you want me to tell you? Alfred in the old, nice shirt and tie there, a little bow tie. McMahon and the tie, they're in the studios. We're back into another vignette. Now there's a little kid bringing out it looks like a ferret. And on stage right now, on the TV set, it's Bobby the Brain Heenan, Lord Alfred Hayes, and Vince Jr. This is 1985. Let's think about it. We're in 2022. We go back to 1985 now, Bobby Heenan. It's funny because I was just down in the bunker of Chaos Corner, and I was looking at Bobby's book, The Bad Guy, I believe, something to that extent, back from 2002. I was actually going to review it and cover it here on the channel, and I'm sure I will, but look at Heenan back in 85. I look back here, Heenan, Lord Alfred Hayes, God rest their soul, you know, two great men. Heenan was priceless. This is when, we're talking 85, right? So what am I back here? I'm 22 years old, just getting out of an institute of higher learning, university, college, if you will, getting ready to go into the D.O.C. behind the walls. Had already attempted my first shot at the Quest facility, the pro wrestling school, with not a lot of success. And now there's a kid there with a ferret wearing a Hulkamania shirt. And what they did back then, this is entertainment. Maybe it's not for everyone now. This isn't pro wrestling, whatever. But when they did this back, and I'm in my, late teens, early 20s, middle 20s, when all this was going on in the 80s. And now they cut to another vignette with Heenan and Orndorff in great shape. Everyone's dressed to the nines.
you don't come up here with me. Maybe you don't know who I am.
And now Heenan and Orndorff look like they're getting into a little disagreement there at Tuesday Night Titans in the studio. So that's what this show is, flashing back to all the highlights in the TV studio, and behind the scenes look at the wrestlers, the grapplers, their personal lives, how they conduct themselves on the TV show, not always in the ring. And this is the part that used to draw me in just as much. Orndorff just fired Heenan here on Tuesday Night Titans. He's fired.
Paul Orndorff just fired.
Go back on the timeline. You hear Vince Jr. in the background. Orndorff just fired Heenan. 1985, Tuesday Night Titans in the World Wrestling Federation. You guys let me know what you think about what I'm covering here. A variety show covering a variety show, because that's what I consider myself. Yes, the IWC, yes, pro wrestling, but a variety show of pro wrestling. I give you everything from, like I said, the watch-alongs to the retro reviews to my own personal videotapes.
When I took him from nothing and made him, who does he think he is firing me on national television? All right. This Heenan was quite upset.
Heenan was a little pissed off, and you know what I say, pissed off or pissed on? I'd rather be pissed off. Back to Vince. They show the vignettes and the clips, and they bounce back to the studio at Titan Towers. Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes on this one. And now, here's Moondog Rex, it looked like, or Spot, with the British Bulldogs. Vince McMahon, Mr. Fuji, konnichiwa, bitches, having tea, and Lord Alfred Hayes and Alfred the Butler. I don't know who he is. Fuji spitting out the tea with the Moondog on a raw bone. And now he's just eating everything off the table like the mad dog, the Moondog that he is, smashing everything. Fuji, the British Bulldogs, McMahon. It's chaos, pun intended. They're in like an English tea room. And then Vince comes back with Lord Alfred Hayes and comments on it. It gives me wings, man. This is the emotion and the passion that you get from a professional like myself. Raw bones here on Chaos Corner. Let's go back to the next clip with Vince and Alfred and see what we have. The introduction of Miss Elizabeth as Macho Man Randy Savage's manager. There's Liz coming on stage, a beautiful green sequence dress with the Macho Man, the purple bandana, and Vince there at the studios at Titan Towers. This is when everyone was fighting for the right to manage Macho Man, and Liz hasn't been introduced yet, and this was the seminal moment in 1985. This is spur of the moment, no script. You see this live to tape, watching this, watching that, live reactions. That's what you get here on Chaos Corner. We'll be right back, as Vince and Alfred said, and that was the seminal moment, as I said, as Macho Man coming on and bringing Liz, Miss Elizabeth, as his manager, January 1985. Back here at Tuesday Night Titans on a Monday morning with the G.O.C.
There have been a number of attractive ladies on TNT from time to time, and we're about ready now to show you what was a swimwear competition of sorts.
A swimsuit competition here on Chaos Corner. You can't see it, but I can. A big shout out to Johnny Cash, the old Folsom City Prison Blues. Right now they have, they're in studio with what looks like to be a yacht or a boat and different lingerie models coming out. What a difference back in 1985 here. They got the beach umbrellas, they got the life preservers, the deck, and the umbrellas, and different women. And it's the second model coming out. She's as flat as an ironing board. I don't want to be too graphic here, but this is the Guardian of Chaos on YouTube. Purple bathing suit. Go back and check these out. The 1985 Tuesday Night Titans. You won't get it on the network or on Peacock. You won't. You got to get this on YouTube on separate channels because it's not copyrighted. There's nothing anyone could do about it. Here's the third model. What's that? The SSWWF? No, it's the SSS, the SS Titan for Titan Towers. Again, we're a stone's throw in the shadows here at Chaos Corner.
Where were you? You arrived on the scene with a swimsuit.
Back to the studio, Vince and Lord Alfred. Lord Alfred Hayes was quite the character.
I'm sure. We'll take you now to footage on Lisa Sliwa, who's really coming into her own at WWF as of late. But this is back in her...
Lisa Sliwa, if you guys remember, if you can hear some of this in the background. and they're going to a studio video shoot of Lisa Sliwa. That's right, Guardian Angels, Guardian of Chaos. Curtis Sliwa's wife back in '85. She attempted to be a pro wrestler, a grappler, if you will, for the WWF. Here, giving her martial arts. You know the background of the Guardian Angels, especially there in New York City. And here she's wearing a dress, giving karate kicks, and they're in the studio, the typical studio shoot from the '80s. And Lisa Sliwa never really made it big in the WWF if you look back in the '80s. Again, you look back in the archives and you'll see I'm going show for show, moment for moment. We're over 15 minutes here. This is entertainment personified. Hey, listen, it's content. I can't continue to just push out stuff without having content. I'd like to get it out to you guys. Now we go into the studio. Another vignette. Lord Alfred's sitting in the background. It's Vince McMahon. Two blondes in bathing suits. Again, remember the time for the '80s and the look and the hair and the style. And it's a Miss Fuji, and also the magnificent John the Rock Morocco laying on a massage table in his Speedos with oil all over the place, and the two females are massaging as McMahon's trying to interview, and there's Fuji with the baby oil pouring it all over Morocco, going between his trunks, his ass cheeks, everything else. You can see Fuji pulling the rib. The ladies are laughing. Morocco is trying to explain himself as oil's running between his ass cheeks. And you can see Vince snickering too. I mean, this stuff was priceless. It was great. And speaking of priceless, back to World Gym in the 80s. I'm coming out from a workout. I don't know who was in the gym at that time. The Wild Samoans were there. Jesse Ventura, Rick Martel, Gorilla. I come walking out. I'm coming out of the locker room. I look over to the left because that's where the open shower is. Who's there? Oh, I saw Fuji taking a piss in the shower. Fuji taking a leak in the shower. I always get caught in these compromising positions. Back to Fuji in the massage with The Rock, Don Morocco. The skin comes off. Fuji just pouring the baby oil all over Morocco. Go back and check it out. January '85 on YouTube. You can't miss it. Tuesday Night Titans here at Chaos Corner.
We thank you very much. Iran has nothing on us. Incredible. By the way, when we return, we're going to have more of TNT, and we have had some guest hosts from time
Yes,
to time.
guest host coming up. Jesse the Body Ventura and Roddy Piper come back as guest hosts. There might even be Prince. Chaos Corner, live to tape on a Monday. We're going to go to Lou's place. We're going to eat at Lou's. Captain Lou Albano, welcome back. Back with more Chaos Corner, and we're going to go to another vignette. We're going to eat at Lou's.
Mr. Albano made a unique concoction. He's quite an accomplished chef.
Concoction. Vince just said concoction. How about all the stuff that's happened? We go back here to '85. Now we're in a kitchen, a la the Pioneer Woman or Rachel Ray or Lydia or whoever you watch when your cooking show. Guy Fieri. It's Captain Lou, Roddy Piper, and Ace Bob Orton in the kitchen right now on Tuesday Night Titans here at Chaos Corner.
Tablespoons of pure olive oil, Italian olive oil. You see that?
No copyrights here, that's for sure.
Number one virgin olives.
Number one virgin olive oil, Captain Lou.
Delicacy oregano. I'm sure. You sprinkle that in, and then you add a little bit of black pepper. We got the black pepper right here.
Hot Rod wearing the Hot Rod shirt. Captain Lou got the chef hat on. He's got the Captain Lou t-shirt. Ace has the brace. Ace has the brace. Get it? Wearing the vest he always wore with the black cowboy hat. Captain Lou mixing up the ingredients there. A little foil. See a little wine, a little vino, a little pasta, a little linguine, a little gabagool, a little gabagool. A little sausage, Roddy Piper said. Oh, no, linguine. Here's the captain over the oven getting it. Piper asked Orton, how's the sausage? Pull a sausage out like this. Oh, Lou's pouring the sauce on the spaghetti. Look at the size of the panzone, if you will, on Captain Lou. Look, Ace is reaching over, grabbing the sausage and pepper. Look, Captain Lou's doctoring up the pasta. He's throwing some hot sauce on there or something. Go back and check out these vignettes. This is when it was the golden era. This is when it's priceless. It's Tabasco. It's hot sauce he's throwing on Piper and Orton's pasta. Go ahead, mangia. Vieni qua mangia. Oh, bon appetit. Here they go. They're digging in now. Piper and Orton Jr. The captain. He just spit the pasta all over the captain and throwing it, spitting out the wine. Wow! This was priceless. This was the golden era. If you don't watch this, what a vignette that was. See, this is when you got into the characters. A lot of people will say this is why it's carny. This is why it's circus. Why don't you grow up, grow out of this shit? This is what makes it relatable. This is what makes it not the BS that it can be today and what they're trying to make pro wrestling into. Jesse the Body.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the one, the only, from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Jesse got the sunglasses on, the feathered boas. I will admit that I used part of that for my character as the G.O.C. Big Daddy. There's Lord Alfred Hayes. They're back on the studio, and here comes someone in a purple jacket like Prince and the whole afro, but that's not Prince. I get it. I know he's passed since then. I get it. This is 1985. Remember the time frame here, fans. Look scared of rats off cheesecake. Make onions guy, Prince. A little dubious, a little unusual. They're back now to Vince Jr. and Lord Alfred Hayes. That's what they're doing here on these shows, bouncing back and forth between vignettes. If you want me to explain what's going on, we're back now to the next vignette with Jesse Ventura.
Now, bear in mind, this group over here is not the revolution, but Prince is going to try it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Prince.
Jesse Ventura. Again, I'm just going to say that to say this because I tell it like it is. You should see this dude on here, this skinny dude who looks like he's wearing some sort of blackface with the afro. He did a
dance. Now he's gonna sing for us. Prince without the revolution.
Prince without the revolution. And he's doing the same dance moves. But again, this is what the WWF was about in the 1980s. Not just the action in the ring. It was more than that. It was entertainment. So, here's Jesse when he was co-hosting Tuesday Night Titans with this dude who's doing singing, dancing, and doing the same routine. I don't know if a lot of you guys are old enough or if you're too young to remember this, but go back and check it out. Jesse was in great shape back then, too, I'll tell you. Oh, and here's Vince.
What? It was thought earlier on that this was not Prince. Haircut was different. He was too short.
Vince reprimanding Jesse on Tuesday Night Titans.
Unprotected, no bodyguards. I would like for you to know that a call was made to the management of Prince in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They have assured us.
Boy, the work. It's truly all a work, and this is what's made it entertainment.
You're telling me that ain't Prince? You're telling me I don't know Prince when I see Prince? As a result of that, we would like
Boy, has Jesse changed over the years in his views? I'd say so.
TNT for perpetrating what apparently was some sort of fraud. Fraud? You're calling me a fraud? You're calling everything I do a fraud? I'll tell you what, McMahon. You can take your show and you can shove it. Jesse Ventura.
Ventura telling off McMahon. I hope you guys could hear a little bit because we don't want to get too crazy. We're coming back. Another commercial break. Coming back to TNT here on Chaos Corner on a Monday. And listen, I don't care if you like this show or what I'm doing. Change the channel. We're putting out content. This is what we're doing. This is my stress reliever. And for you guys. And in this day and age, we need something besides the Lord, which is the ultimate, to get us distracted and to keep us going, to face what's coming. And that's why I'm here. This is entertainment. Vince back now. Here comes Captain Lou dressed as a pumpkin. I actually wish I could show the videos that I'm watching and the show that I'm watching right now. Captain Lou got a pumpkin on his head. He's dressed as a pumpkin. And here comes Mean Gene Okerlund. This looks like it was a Halloween special. Again, they're popping back and forth between the studio and certain vignettes. And here comes Mean Gene as a biker. Live studio audience. He's got the chains. He's shirtless. He's got a mohawk. Another legend. Mean Gene. Man, I wish I would have had a chance to meet me. And he trips and stumbles over the stairs. Talk about going back in history. This is what you get. Here's Fabulous Moolah dressed up as a witch. Again, a Halloween show. We're reviewing the highlights here on Tuesday Night Titans, January 1985. I think I was 22 years old. From the studios in Titan Towers, this is what the pro wrestling industry was back then. It wasn't just in the ring where things were simple and you sold it. This also was entertainment. And here's a shirtless King Kong Bundy putting on a wig, and Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South, with Vince on the set there. Go back and check these out. This is priceless. I know I keep saying that. I'm trying to explain. It's tough to do and tough to follow along here, but I'm watching Tuesday Night Titans, the old variety show from the 80s of the WWF, here on Chaos Corner, the new variety show in the 21st century here in 2022, and relating what they're doing on the variety show to this show out to you guys. Talk about putting it out there, man. And I keep it relatable. You understand what I'm talking about. I can't show you the visual because of copyrights, but I could certainly break it down and have a lot of fun and make it entertainment personified. Bundy's pissed at Alfred Hayes now. Up on the studio set. Again, the typical like Johnny Carson, David Letterman. Trying to make fun of King Kong Bundy. That's what Jimmy Hart is yelling at Lord Alfred Hayes. There's Jimmy Hart dumping a bucket of water back to the video in the scene with the girls coming out on the boat all over Lord Alfred Hayes. Again, it's South Morrick. I get it. And what we're doing here. But this is what you get on Chaos Corner. You got to keep it different. A beach scene with Jimmy Hart, a boat, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Now we're going to take you to, apparently Mr. Morocco has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's a great actor in 3 different pieces.
Here we go. Fuji General.
And his latest endeavor, Fuji Chan.
Fuji Chan. Remember Fuji Vice? Here's Fuji General, when Morocco and Fuji used to do all the vignettes. Perhaps the best of all these variety series that Vince and the WWF pulled off back then. So here's Morocco dressed up as a doctor talking to a nurse in like a general hospital type thing, but just pure horrible, terrible acting. But for its day and the variety and the comedy mixed in the pro wrestling world, the circus, the carny, this truly made it that way. And this is what made it entertaining and fun for me as a guy who's the old man brand, the over 50 demo god, pushing a big 6-0 sometime soon, who knows? And back here, I'm 22 years old. Had already tried to get into the wrestling business. Captured. Here comes the producer now, out here trying to break up the scene. And here comes Fuji dressed up as a doctor. We got to listen to some of this. We're not going to get copyrighted. It's not even on the network. Fuji General. Don Morocco, Mr. Fuji. We're going to go into Fuji Vice. They're in a make-believe hospital room. Freddie Blassie as the bartender, Moolah as the waitress or the madam, and Morocco as a cowboy. And Jimmy Hart and Fuji dressed up as cowboys in a saloon.
Hand over that gun belt. Don't make me laugh. I want that belt. I'll show you who's the fat.
Oh, Morocco throws Fabulous Moolah in front. She gets shot by the other cowboy. And there's classy Freddie Blassie. You pencil neck geek.
I love you. Maybe a glass of water.
Blassie, Morocco. Morocco's holding Moolah as she just, obviously the late great Moolah, who I did have dinner with, and Moolah and Mae Young back in the day. Moolah's passed away. Now Fuji and everyone pulls out the gun and they take out, there's even a guy dressed as an Indian.
Marshall's dead.
Now this is entertainment. Now do we go to a murder mystery scene again? Fabulous Moolah, Don Morocco,
He's dead.
like a whodunit.
It's missing.
Morocco's trying to look for the gun.
If only that great detective from Honolulu were here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Inspector Fuji-chan.
Inspector Fuji-chan with Fred Blassie. And there's the infamous Ring Boy scandal guy dressed up in this, Mel Phillips. Do your due diligence and your homework and research on that piece of shit. Fuji-chan, though.
What makes you think it was a murder? Great Scott, man.
The acting was terrible. Just horrible. That's what made it priceless. We're over 30 minutes here on Chaos Corner. I hope you stayed with the whole episode because we're going to cover the rest of these, whether you like it or not.
Oh, Mr. Chan, you must clean up this mess.
That's Moolah
The press
talking.
will be here soon, and it'll mean a scandal on the society pages.
Kafir say you can't hurry love or investigation.
You can't hurry love or investigation, Mr. Fuji.
Dude, that was Lady Diana Ross, mama.
And that's Mel Phillips, the piece of goo.
You stay in car.
Look, Mr. Chan, even I
Fuji-chan, Fuji Vice, Fuji Hospital.
He's been jealous of Dr. Bigger's career his whole life. Finding the sassafras stone was
I can still do it. You see that, right?
He killed for the stone. For the money it would bring.
It's like watching General Hospital.
Being the #1 explorer in the world.
And I'll bet he even has the stone with him now.
Confucius said, coming to conclusion, can only get all
My hair's getting long. Gotta get a haircut pretty soon. A little shape up. What do you guys think?
Hey, check it out, Pops.
There's a knife in the table. That could be the weapon.
PM. Professor Morocco, perhaps.
Professor Morocco? Fuji-chan? Back to the studios now with Vince Jr. and Lord Alfred Hayes and the next vignette here on Tuesday Night Titans on a Monday morning with Chaos Corner.
Now to George Gianimo Steele and Dr. Sigmund Ziff, who's both a psychiatrist and a gynecologist.
A psychologist and a gynecologist, Dr. Sigmund Ziff, with George the Animal Steele, who I was on a couple of events with back in the late 90s when he was still active. Now they have a doctor with a silver helmet and all kinds of Frankenstein type stuff and zapping machines and rays going up as George is wearing the helmet, the animal. There's smoke coming out of it. Captain Lou's there. Vince is there looking over him as he's in the exam. Oh. George the Animal Steele. How now, brown cow? Where else do you get this kind of entertainment from the Guardian of Chaos? Yeah, I'm a few dollars short.
It's going, it's higher, it's good, it's coming, it's wonderful, it's coming. What's happening? What's going on? George, you better cut that off.
Cut the helmet off. Take the helmet off. There's smoke coming out everywhere out of the animal's head. And he's got the green tongue. Remember, we're covering Tuesday Night Titans here from 1985 in the World Wrestling Federation here on Chaos Corner with the G.O.C. Thanks for being here. Back to the studios at Titan Towers. Lord Alfred Hayes, Vince McMahon. As the show went on, Tuesday Night Titans, it went into prime time wrestling with Bobby and Gorilla. We're going to start covering a lot of this stuff. Now they're back to the next vignette, and they're bringing on some sort of boa constrictor out into the studios. They're showing everyone from Nikita Breznikov to Nikolai Volkov to Ricky Steamboat to Leaping Lenny Poffo to Morocco Surfing to Hot Rod Roddy Piper. Ivan Putski. And they're all in different vignettes. That's what they're showing right now. Different vignettes from Tuesday Night Titans and all the different grapplers that went into the TV studio. Junkyard Dog, Hogan and Mean Gene. TNT, Chaos Corner. Don't give a fuck. Did I say that out loud? I meant to say that inside. We're back to Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes. We're over 35 minutes in here on what you could call a variety show on a Monday morning here. Tuesday Night Titans. And here comes a scantily clad woman. You could see what went on back then and maybe how Vince got in all his trouble here. And they're showing the old wrestling album with Jesse Ventura and Vince on the cover. They got it right there in the TV studio. And now a little bubbly, a little champagne for Vince and Lord Alfred Hayes on Tuesday Night Titans. Cheers, Vince. Lord Alfred Hayes. This New Year's Eve clip, maybe? Scantily clad women everywhere on Tuesday Night Titans. Cheers. Tuesday Night Titans. Chaos Corner. Retro reviews, looking back.
It's good. She's fun to be around.
Wow. Yeah, Vince. Things to come, Vincent.
Does anyone have a nipple for this one? And I'll
Gonna put a nipple on the champagne bottle. Be careful, Vincent.
Yes.
Having a lot of fun with this, guys. I hope that you are too. I had to come up with some content. Happy New Year. We're in August. Fans, thanks for being here. A little over 35 minutes. Chaos Corner from the Chaos Lounge with your old buddy, the G.O.C. Breaking down retro reviews going back to the 80s, and we're going to cover Tuesday Night Titans here on Chaos Corner. Variety covering variety. Don't you dare miss it.